We're excited today to be talking to Denver Backus. His project is Backus Agrilabs. I really want to welcome you here, and we look forward to getting to know you a little bit better. But I think the way to kick us off, Denver, is why don't tell us what university or college you're representing and what degree you're working on.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. I'm from the University of Portland, and I am studying computer science and entrepreneurship.
Oh, excellent, excellent. And as we previously said, your project name is Backus Agrilabs. What is your role within the project?
I am the CEO and founder of Backus Agrilabs, which happens to be our team name. I'm the lead stakeholder and the project manager for the project. So I just oversee the whole project.
Excellent. And how long has this project been a part of your life?
Backus Agrilabs has been going on for about 6 months now. I first started looking into research topics about a year ago. So over the course of a year, I've focused my research for this company.
That is a perfect segue. So tell us about your project, what innovation you're creating, where have you gotten started?
So this is a big project with a lot of different avenues that I'm pursuing. Backus Agrilabs is a research company. We like to find new ways to use agricultural practices and make them sustainable. And then we develop them for industrial use. So our first focus is on indoor farming using hydroponics. No soil, just water supply. So we're building a shelf system that holds crops in rows, and then this will allow us to grow vertically as well. So the end goal is to have an automatic harvesting system that manages and harvests crops using a robot. This will allow us to create a large scale vending machine for crops, is what I like to call it. So we're going to try to give the public access to warehouses by creating a lobby with touchscreen devices so that the customer can select which crop they want, and then a robot will go and harvest it for them the same day. We're trying to give people access to fresh produce is the goal of this project.
That's excellent. I'm totally blown away by your deep thought into how this can scale. That's really great. I would love to know more about how you came up with this idea, where it started, and what has motivated and pushed you to get it to where it is today.
I started thinking about doing a research project over a year ago. I know I wanted to go into research, I just didn't know how. I was a mechanical engineer my first year, and so I initially wanted to figure out how to clean up the Willamette River using submarines and stuff like that to clean up the soil. But I kept changing my mind. So in the fall, I decided to get into hops and brewing, and I wanted to create a hop breeding program for microbreweries to create specialized hops. I actually had a lot of traction with this and got a lot of faculty support on campus. But someone mentioned trying to grow hops hydroponically. I had no idea what that meant. When I started to learn about hydroponics, I realized you could grow really anything indoors. So about 6 months ago, I built my first indoor farm. It's about 100 square feet, but it was a great starting point. I told a professor about this farm, and then they suggested that I propose my farm to a capstone team because I'm only a sophomore, but I have a team of seniors that are working on this. I have been working on getting my farm up and running so that the team can start working on designs for the robotic system. This is what's taken me about 6 months, and that is where I am today. We're building a second vertical farm on campus so that engineers can test their designs, and then another professor is also beginning a class based around my project. So in the fall, there are going to be about 25 students working on the crop management system to collect growth data and figure out the most efficient way to grow crops. So it's just been a huge push of faculty support that's been fast paced because 6 months ago, I did not know how to grow crops. And now we're already designing robots.
That is absolutely incredible. What a wonderful amount of progress you've made. It seems like you have a real dedication to making this into something and creating change. So I'm definitely curious, who do you really think your farming system and the vending system in reality is really going to
Yeah.
serve? Who is this in the end going to be for?
I am going to be putting these grow centers, is what I like to call them, in the middle of food deserts. Portland is scattered with food deserts. We're going to be serving those people that don't have access to fresh produce, who have to travel long distances to get the fresh produce, and those that can't regularly buy groceries. This is our community sector. We're lowering the prices of our foods in these areas to be able to reach the most people. People in these communities need food, and right now they're not getting access to it. So food equity in these regions is extremely low. And it's for a reason. Grocery stores place their stores where people can afford to buy groceries. We're building grow centers where people can't afford groceries. That is for the community sector. We will have a private sector as well where we are selling high-end produce from different facilities to restaurants and food management companies. These will cost more because our proposed plans need funding for the community sector. This is a way to make food more accessible for everyone. Restaurants will be able to buy gourmet food that is hard to grow in the Pacific Northwest, and those funds will help us build grow centers for communities that don't have the access to food.
That is such a wonderful vision. And again, I'm blown away by how much work and time you've put into all of the scaling and seeing how it has potential with multiple markets and potential to make a huge impact. There's impact that can be had from providing the right resources for a chef, as well as providing these amazing resources for food. I'm curious to know more about you, though. What are some insights that you've learned about what it's like to be an innovator?
I've learned a lot about inventing and the invention process. I started working for a construction management company a year ago, and I'm considered a project engineer intern. I've learned a lot about project management and the process it takes to launch a project. The one thing is you just got to keep trying. You got to keep remaking. You're going to fail, and that's totally okay. I wasn't okay with failure before looking at inventions and the process it takes. But now that I know it's okay to fail, you don't get as discouraged as much when something doesn't go exactly how I had planned. There's a lot of bumps in the road, but through innovation, it's easier to get over those bumps.
That's really excellent. I know you've shared a lot with us already about where you want the project to go in the future, but where are you hoping to go in the future with this? What role do you see yourself not only with the farming system, but with future innovations?
I am hoping to turn this company into my career through the entrepreneurship program that I'm doing. I'm going to be launching this company. I really do want to continue that after I graduate. This research is really cool and I really enjoy it. I want to keep helping people in the environment, and I have an interest in growing things. When I harvested my first lettuce, I freaked out. Like, I actually grew stuff that you can eat. It's a really cool experience to eat the food that you have that you've grown. I've gotten a lot of traction from this project too, and I want to continue that into like a master's program. My mind is always going. I have a ton of ideas, and the whole idea behind this company is that we do different types of research. After my indoor farming project, I want to look at floating farms to help still clean up the Willamette and get the water quality a little better, or having transportable farms in shipping containers to countries after natural disasters that need immediate access to food. So there's a lot of different research projects that I can see this company tackling, and I want to be around for that.
That is absolutely phenomenal. I personally can't wait to see all of these things and what comes next and what problems you identify down the road and solutions you create for that. In thinking about Invent Oregon, what are some things that you hope you get out of this experience specifically within Invent Oregon or hope that you give to your fellow competitors?
Throughout this whole competition, I've met some incredible people, and I really want to continue to develop those relationships so that we can continue to help each other down the road. A lot of the other competitors, they might have more business experience than me or different engineering topics that they excel at. I definitely want to continue to meet with them and learn more about those aspects of the project. I'm starting to realize that I can't do everything. I can't do all of the business and all of the engineering. That's why I'm starting to develop a team. But I really want to develop a team between different schools. There are some, like Oregon State is a huge ag school, and this project would work really well with them. So I've met with a few students from OSU that have similar interests. I want to just continue building those relationships.
I definitely hope to see you on a statewide agriculture team in the coming years. That's for sure. Is there anything new that you've learned about yourself through the participation in InventOR?
I've learned that I can't stop spreading myself too thin. This has been a problem I've had, and every year I say I'm not going to do it, but I can't say no to people. And so I just keep on taking on all these projects. So I've definitely learned that I can manage my stress a lot better and manage my time. And then I also learned that I'm interested in growing food. I didn't think that I would be considered like a farmer or like in the ag industry. I grew up really close with my grandparents, and they're more land and ranch focused, but then my parents are like city people. So I'm like combining the two into what I call modern farming. And that was something that I thought was really interesting.
That's excellent. We love to hear about personal and professional growth through this program. You are truly an inspiration, Denver, and I cannot wait to see you on stage in June. So congratulations for coming this far, and we look forward to seeing you in Grants Pass. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.